Michael Brown Show.
Hold on tight to your dream. Yeah. Hold on tight to your dream.
It's Aloha Friday.
Just because I can. What the hell, right?
Till Monday.
Ba-doo-ba-doo. Drinking on the job already, too.
Friday. No work till Monday.
It's hot in here, Angie.
And?
I don't know. Never ask a woman whether it's hot or cold in the room.
Drinking up my beer, got cakes running
Because it'll be the opposite of what you think.
Got some pokey on the side while Mom was trying to hide the Miller and the Heineken beer. It's Aloha Friday.
Boy, some of you better appreciate
No
this.
work till Monday.
Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
It's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday.
Oh, look, John Brennan's on the air. Huh. He's on the TV. All right, here we go.
Okay, you know, when you want to get away, I mean, one thing about Friday, man, the working week is over. And frankly, I feel good, man. I work hard all week long. I can't wait to get away. You know, down like the beach, I'm cruising this weekend. Yeah, I get one hot concert too, man. That's the most important thing. But main thing too is to get enough money for gas and to go out to the disco. I like to see all them beautiful chicks.
Chicks.
Yeah.
I just like the fact he uses the word chicks.
Gonna cruise, take my Bank of America card, you know. Otherwise, how can I get money? Right? Plus, that my friends always saying, "Hey, brother, you can buy me one drink, man." Kimbo and the crew sucking up the brew, pull me smoking on the side. All the surfers are dropping while the high schools are popping down Kalakaua for a ride. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday.
I want you to know I've exercised some discretion today. Angie pointed out to me a sign in a certain building in which certain people are currently located. What does it say? It's supposed to say here, but it says her, right? Isn't that it?
Yes.
And I was going to take a picture of it and post it on social media and mock it and make fun of it. And then I realized that, well, that might cause somebody some heartburn because I don't know who wrote out the sign. But they don't know the difference between her and here. CNN, the Washington Post, BuzzFeed, and a bunch of others filed a motion with Judge T.S. Ellis. He's the presiding judge over the Paul Manafort trial. They want the names and the addresses of the jurors. Why do you think that is? First, let me just say this about the juror questions, their notes to the judge, and all of the talking heads that are speculating what this means or that means, they don't know. There are 12, in this case, 6 men and 6 women, 12 ordinary citizens sitting in a room in a federal courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia. They've listened to, 2 weeks of minutia about tax returns, financial disclosures, bank and wire fraud, this and that, and everybody is convinced that if Paul Manafort is acquitted, that this will shut down the Mueller probe. I don't think so. They're also convinced that if Paul Manafort is convicted, that somehow this proves collusion, which, of course, you and I know is not a crime. But somehow it will mean that Donald Trump is guilty of, I don't know, farting in public or something. And, of course, that's not a crime. And just because this jury decides guilt or innocence, actually, you know, a jury does not really decide guilt or innocence. A jury decides whether you are guilty or not guilty. Because the standard to convict someone is you have to show the government has to show beyond a reasonable doubt. If the government doesn't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, then the jury has to acquit. That doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means that the government couldn't prove their case. So an acquittal doesn't mean that Paul Manafort is innocent. It just means he wasn't found guilty. So the Post, CNN, BuzzFeed, and a bunch of other goobers have decided that they want the names and addresses of the jurors of these 12 private citizens who got sucked into the criminal justice system. And for whatever reason, their number came up. They didn't have a good excuse to get off the jury. And so they're doing their civic duty. I don't know what they get paid in federal court in Virginia, but it's not what they get paid even if they're on Social Security. They may be getting, I don't know, $12, $15 a day. You thought I was going to say an hour, didn't you? No, $12 to $15 a day. Or they might get parking if they fill out all of the forms in triplicate and sign them just right. They might get reimbursed for parking, or they might have free parking in the federal courthouse in Alexandria. You see, I've never been a defendant or a plaintiff in the federal courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia, so I don't know what goes on in that building. CNN and BuzzFeed and the Post don't need to know the names of the jurors. And the judge rightly refused to grant the motion. The judge also announced that the reason he was denying the motion, in part, is because he himself has received death threats. Now let that soak in for a moment. It's not unusual for a federal judge to get death threats. You know, if you've got the cartels, if you got the blind sheikh, you've got Hezbollah or somebody else, you got the mafioso in your courtroom, it wouldn't be unusual to get death threats. This is a tax and bank fraud case. This is you didn't fill out the forms correctly case. This is you lied on a loan application case. And this judge is getting death threats? We're going off the rails as a nation. Or think about this. Is CNN, the Washington Post, and BuzzFeed filing a motion to get the names and addresses of the jurors as a way to intimidate the jurors? To say, if you don't convict, we're going to hunt you down. I mean, not that any news organization would ever show up on somebody's doorstep and camp out. Not that I ever had that happen to me. Not that I ever had to have neighbors call and say, hey, you're getting ready to take Hannah to St. Bernard for a walk. You might want to go out the back door and walk through the greenway because, well, you got like 14 press satellite trucks out in front of your townhouse. These jurors have a right to privacy. And if they choose individually to speak to the press once this is over, that's their choice. If they want to walk out of that courtroom and walk up to a camera and say, my name is Joe Blow and I live at 123 Main Street in Alexandria, Virginia, and I was on the jury and I want to tell you how I voted and why I voted, that's their choice. Otherwise, seems to me the media is engaging in a little juror intimidation. Thank you, Judge. Tell him to go to hell.
Text Michael a piece of your mind. Send your message along with his name, Mike, to 57739.
This report is brought to you by CC's new Endless Pan Pizzas, now on the buffet.
There's a crash on eastbound I-70 at the 270 interchange, blocking the left lanes. Traffic backed up all the way to I-25. Also a report of a crash on northbound I-25 approaching Bellevue. That stretch slow, almost back to Dry Creek. Off freeway, the lights are malfunctioning at 6th and Broadway. You might want to avoid that area if you can. And also working accidents at 4th and Colorado, Colfax and Quebec, 29th and Spear, and on Evans, just west of University. Your forecast for this evening, partly cloudy. We could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Will cool off to the low 60s overnight. Partly cloudy tomorrow for your Saturday with a high in the low to mid 80s. It's 86 right now in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Try new endless pan pizzas at CC's, available in both Meat Eater and Supreme. Now on the buffet, starting at just $5.99. It's the best price for endless pan pizza, only at CC's. Price and participation vary. Restrictions apply. Visit ccs.com/pan for details.
Michael Brown here from Mike Ward Infiniti. Now, if you're looking for an Infiniti like I drive, a great sporty little Q50, or a Maserati, a Fiat, Alfa Romeo, or a McLaren, I want you to go see my old high school buddy Mike Ward. You can find him over at C470 in Lucent when you go over there. Tell him I sent you. And like Mike likes to say, just drive it.
This message paid for by Fair Maps, Colorado.
Hi, this is John Southers, former Attorney General of Colorado, now Mayor of Colorado Springs. Around the country, the process of drawing congressional and state legislative maps has been polluted by conflict of interest. The very people benefiting from the maps, senators, representatives, political appointees, are the ones drawing the maps. The result is predictable: manipulated maps and gerrymandered districts that serve one political party, but not the people. Colorado has had its own struggles in map drawing. For the past 30 years, a single judge has often picked our maps, behind closed doors. Amendments Y and Z would change that. Amendments Y and Z would take the power to draw maps away from elected officials and give it to an independent commission. 1/3 Republican, 1/3 Democrat, 1/3 independent. And smart checks and balances will once and for all end the cycle of maps being picked by a single judge. Vote yes on Y and Z.
Hear that? It's opportunity knocking on your home's old front door and your old windows and siding. Because right now is your chance to save thousands on new Champion windows and home exterior upgrades. Announcing the Champion Your Home Sale with 30% off new Champion Comfort 365 windows, 25% off new siding and sunrooms. Plus, get 60 months low interest financing. Hi, this is Dave Logan. Champion is the only window company that I personally endorse. Book your free appointment today online at getchampion.com. They design, build, install, and guarantee their home improvement products. So all you have to do is enjoy them. 30% off new Comfort 365 windows and 25% off new siding and new sunrooms. It's the Champion Your Home Sale. Book your appointment online at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com.
The Champion Limited Lifetime Warranty applies to Comfort 365 windows as long as the original purchaser owns the home. Subject to qualifying credit approval. Minimum purchase required. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Cannot be combined with other advertisers' offers. See store website for details. Americans are always on the move. They're in their car or at the office or working around the house. Americans refuse to sit still. So how do you connect with all those moving targets? Easy. With radio. Radio reaches 93% of Americans every week. More than Google, Facebook, and even television. But hey, who has time to sit and watch TV? So when you want to connect with all those constantly moving adults, teens, and millennials, get to iHeartMedia.com and put AM/FM radio to work for your company.
Student loans, car loans, high-interest credit card loans, debt adds up for all of us, but there are ways around it. Hey guys, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, and I'm here to remind you that refinancing your home loan is an easy way to save a lot of money. Think of it this way. A lower interest rate means lower monthly bill payments, and mortgage interest rates are far more competitive than a student loan or credit card rate. I'm talking rates in the low single digits versus rates in the high double digits. Why wouldn't you consolidate that high interest debt by refinancing your mortgage? You'll speak with a salary-based mortgage consultant who will customize a loan to fit your needs. They're already saving customers up to $1,000 a month, plus there are no upfront fees at American Financing. You could close on your new loan in as fast as 10 days and may be able to postpone up to 60 days of mortgage payments. Get in touch with American Financing at 303-695-7000 or online at americanfinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Hail and severe storm season is here, and that's why you need to call Golden Spike Roofing. If you think you have damage, call Golden Spike at 303-942-1386 for a thorough and free inspection. For roofing done right to the last nail, call Golden Spike Roofing.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Napa know-how.
Right now, Napa Legend batteries come with a $15 rebate by mail. Their long-lasting durability stands up to extreme conditions. So even on scorching days, it'll puff its chest out and be all like, hey, summer heat, find another car battery to drain. Napa Legend batteries with $15 mail-in rebate. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 8/31/18.
On the streets of Miami, speed is the law. So when a corn dog goes after the wrong girl,
Oh, heartburn!
one man will bring her Tums Ultra Strength.
I'm on my way.
Don't get wrecked by heartburn. Nothing works faster than Tums.
Your mustard's fast, but my Tums are faster.
And with Tums on the go rolls, it's never been easier to leave heartburn behind.
You did it.
Yeah. You gonna finish that corn dog?
Tums Ultra Strength, available in a store near you.
Tom Martino, the troubleshooter. Monday morning at 10.
Consumer problems, questions, and complaints. We give you a voice and try to solve your problems Monday at 10.
Troubleshooter Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
I couldn't find any Maxine Waters for today, and I know you're disappointed, but I found the next best thing. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders says that there's something spreading across the country, and I'm thinking, well, then maybe we ought to get some inoculations going.
I think two things are happening, John. Number one, the ideas that we have been fighting for, ideas that I think make sense to the needs of working families, I think those ideas are spreading all over the country and have more and more support. If you look at the issues like Medicare for all, should we end the embarrassment of being the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people? Poll after poll says, yeah, we should move in that direction.
Poll after poll. That telephone poll, that light poll, the other poll, and then some Polish guy says it too. Who cares what the polls say? Some things are inherently bad. Some things are inherently good. Medicare for all is inherently bad. And I read today about how youth unemployment is at a 50-year low, how wages are rising faster than ever, tax revenues are at an all-time high, the economy is roaring. So let's take some gas and a match and commit arson on the economy.
Should we give tax breaks to billionaires, which is what Trump wants, or demand that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes?
Oh, I love that phrase. You know, I find that phrase orgasmic, actually, just to be completely honest with you. It's Friday, and why not be honest? You know, I've lied for the past 4 days, so today I'll just be honest and tell you that when Bernie talks about Medicare for all and taxing billionaires and millionaires, or millionaires and billionaires, see, I can't even get that straight. I'm just so excited about it. And corporations paying their fair share. Well, it's just like, oh, baby, talk to me some more.
That is what the American people want. Should we move toward raising the minimum wage? Now a starvation wage of $7.25 an hour.
Starvation wage. Starvation. We're starving people so let's raise the minimum wage. And I'm serious. You know, I think a year or so ago, I suggested when they were trying to do it in Colorado that rather than raise it to whatever their dumbass figure was, let's raise it to $52.80. You know, you get it 5,280 feet above sea level. I think the minimum wage in Colorado ought to be $52.80. Unless you live in Leadville, then we'll make it a little higher. But for Denver, at least, in fact, I think in Denver specifically, we ought to make the minimum wage $52.80 an hour.
$15 an hour, that's what the American people want. So what I'm saying, John, is all across this country, people...
That's what the American people want. He knows the American people.
People are saying we want a government that represents all of us, not just the billionaire class and wealthy campaign contributors.
Tell me. Says the guy that owns 2 homes. Says the guy that's got a net worth of a couple of $1 million. He's a true socialist. He's a Jared Polis socialist. He's a Tom Steyer socialist.
About the Democratic Party and how they balance these two things. They've got to win in 2018 in districts where the idea of Medicare for all and the cost of that is a little too much for maybe the voters in those suburban swing districts. The idea of free college, they hear the numbers racking up in terms of the federal deficit. On the other hand, you talk about this energy inside the Democratic Party. So how does the Democratic Party balance those two things?
Well, shut up, John Dickerson. I want the Democrat Party to move as far to the left as it possibly can. I want more Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes. I want more of that black woman yesterday that called the Asian woman a ching chong ching chang or whatever it was. I want more Maxine Waters. I want the Democrats to be their true selves, which are Marxists.
What is happening is there is a whole lot of energy. And I think what you're seeing all across this country is not only progressives winning and losing occasionally, but what you are seeing is people running for office for the first time. You're seeing women, people of color, young people getting involved in politics in, frankly, a way that we have not seen for a long, long time.
Why didn't he mention that transgender that won the nomination to run for government in his own state? You know, that couldn't define socialism and just said, well, labels are, you know, like she, he, whatever it was, does not like labels. Okay.
I think that's good for America. I think that's good for the Democratic Party. 4 years ago, let me say this, in the midterm elections, we had the lowest voter turnout in 70 years. What the Democrats got to do is excite people, get young people, working people to the polls. If they do that, I think we're going to do just fine.
Yeah, whatever. It does concern me, though. It concerns me that there are way too many people that actually think like Bernie and do believe that, you know, a great phrase like Medicare for all and free college education, free college tuition, and, you know, whatever the crap they call for. You do realize that even 2 years ago, socialism was a naughty word. The idea of socialized medicine, they didn't want to call it that. The idea of free college tuition for everybody, the idea of free this and free that was actually dirty talk. And they didn't want to espouse it. And you realize that over the past 2, 3, 4 years, that the fundamental transformation that Barack Obama started back in 2006 and 2007, when he first came on the national stage and gave that dumbass speech at the Democrat National Convention, that we've now gone from that to full-on Marxism. That's how progressives work. And they have now just ripped apart the curtain, they've pulled it down, they've burned it, and they're just full-on socialists. Now, on the one hand, I'm glad for that, because I would rather know that that's where they're coming from and have them admit that than have to dance around it all the time. But it worries me, because we got a lot of stupid people in the country. And I know that's awful to say about my fellow Americans, but some people are just stupid. And some people hear Medicare for all, they hear free college education, they hear free this, free that. I mean, who doesn't want free stuff, right? Angie, you got any free stuff for me today? You ought to watch people at a radio station. Anytime anybody, Angie, tell me if this is not true. Anytime anybody comes into this building, they bring food, booze, whatever it might be. It's like cockroaches, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, have you ever seen an animal that, you know, if that dies out in the wilderness and the ants and the bugs just immediately start eating up that body? That's kind of what some Americans are like. Free stuff, and they're like cockroaches. Ugh. Hey, condoms are in the news. Yeah, condoms. It's Friday, you know we're going straight to the toilet.
Text Michael a piece of your mind. Send your message along with his name, Mike, to 57739.
Hey everybody, let's go talk to Bob Smith over at RCS Wealth Management. Bob, we got a question. What's the best time to start taking Social Security?
Well, Mike, that's the $64,000 question. But my question is this. Doesn't it make more sense to take an earlier benefit, let's say at 62, and get paid for a longer amount of time than waiting until age 70? Because as you know, your first time you can take Social Security is at 62. Then you can take it at full retirement age when you get 100% of your benefits. Usually it's 66, and then at 70. Well, there are a lot of factors that come into play when claiming, such as lifespan, such as health. What are your retirement goals? And things like that. So there are a lot of different factors that come into play when deciding when to take Social Security. And it's not as easy as 62, 66, or 70.
And that's why I think people need to give you a call at RCS Wealth Management. Easy phone number to remember, 303-777-5500, or online, rcswealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, BCM, a registered investment advisor. BCM and RCS Wealth Management are independent of each other.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station with Ross Kaminsky mornings, Michael Brown afternoons, KHOW, Denver.
This report is brought to you by CC's new Endless Pan Pizzas, now on the buffet.
An earlier crash on eastbound I-70 at the 270 interchange has been cleared out of traffic, but it's still slow all the way back to I-25. Mostly just seeing heavy volumes flowing around the system through the Tech Center and downtown and headed into Thornton. Off-freeway, the lights are malfunctioning at 6th and Broadway and Lincoln, backing things up there. And there's an accident at 4th and Colorado. Your forecast for this evening, partly cloudy with a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Will cool off to the low 60s overnight. Partly cloudy tomorrow for your Saturday with a high in the low to mid 80s. And on Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy with a high in the upper 70s. It's 87 right now in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Try new Endless Pan Pizzas at CC's, available in both Meat Eater and Supreme, now on the buffet starting at just $5.99. It's the best price for Endless Pan Pizza, only at CC's. Price and participation vary. Restrictions apply. Visit ccs.com/pan for details.
Do you know what I love about Art of Granite? Price quotes on the phone. Art of Granite supplies premier designer countertops and cabinets. A direct importer of stone, granite, and quartz. Visit their showroom in Golden. Wholesale countertop material, custom edges, sinks, cabinets, and from the templating appointment, it takes just 1 week for installation. And when you have the kitchen done, they do the bathroom free. And they tear out everything free. Artofgranite.net. 303-386-5919.
I'm in my early 50s, and I really don't feel old, except for one thing. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and that one thing is my hair. It's been thinning for years, and it bugs me almost every time I look in the mirror. But I'm going to do something about it with Dr. David Broadway and Broadway Hair Restoration. Using NeoGraft, a safe and effective, minimally invasive technique, I'm soon going to look, well, more like I want to look. Call Broadway Hair Restoration and schedule your free consultation at 303-680-8989 or online at denverhairrestoration.com.
Where can you attend a 2-day event for just $10 and the parking is free? Only the Tanner Gun Show. A $10 ticket gets you in both days this weekend at the Denver Mart. Buy, sell, or trade at over 700 tables with the most new and used guns displayed. There's free gun and accessory giveaways both days with no purchase necessary. Tanner supports responsible gun ownership, and background checks are run on all gun purchases. Don't miss the Tanner Gun Show this weekend at the Denver Mart, 58th and I-25. Visit TannerGunShow.com.
This message paid for by Fair Maps, Colorado.
Hi, this is John Suthers, former Attorney General of Colorado, now Mayor of Colorado Springs. Around the country, the process of drawing congressional and state legislative maps has been polluted by conflict of interest. The very people benefiting from the maps, senators, representatives, political appointees, are the ones drawing the maps. The result is predictable: manipulated maps and gerrymandered districts that serve one political party, but not the people. Colorado has had its own struggles in map drawing. For the past 30 years, a single judge has often picked our maps, behind closed doors. Amendments Y and Z would change that. Amendments Y and Z would take the power to draw maps away from elected officials and give it to an independent commission. 1/3 Republican, 1/3 Democrat, 1/3 independent. And smart checks and balances will once and for all end the cycle of maps being picked by a single judge. Vote yes on Y and Z.
If you have hail damage, you better get it fixed. Get it fixed the preferred way with Flexident. No need to repaint like the other methods. Lifetime warranty. Immediate openings available. Flexident's been working with insurance, dealers, and body shops for around 20 years. Multiple locations. Downtime is minimized. Only 1 to 3 days. Call now. 303-619-6273 or FlexidentofColorado.com. And look for Flexident on referralist.com.
When it's too cold for camping, we go camping. When it's too hot to work, we work. The John Deere Gator XUV 835 comes with game-changing heat and AC and 3 wide seating, so it's never too anything for anything. Nothing runs like the strong, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your John Deere dealer to test drive today. Get $400 off the Gator XUV 835M at participating John Deere dealers, now through October 26, 2018. See your dealer for details.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
Yeah, I got the creeps too. We got to at least do one taxpayer relief shot. This comes to us from Dallas, Texas.
New this morning, Dallas police say that a man shot and killed one of 3 people who tried to break into his home overnight. It happened shortly after midnight at an apartment complex on East Overton Road near I-45. Police say the other 2 suspects ran away. The victim was not hurt and likely won't face charge.
Why would they face charges? There's no honor among thugs. 3 of you get together and say, hey, let's go rob some old boy's apartment. And let's do it after midnight. You bust in. He pulls out a gun. One of you ends up dead, and the other 2 run. How you want to bet they peed their pants all the way back to the hood, all the way back. The Centers for Disease Control is out with a warning, and I feel obligated to bring this warning to you because, well, it's clearly something that this audience probably engages in regularly, and I just want to forewarn you. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has a message for sexually active Americans. Do not wash or reuse condoms. You want to write that down? Do not wash or reuse condoms. Most Americans, 72%, are having sex. What are the other 28% doing? Oh, I see. Most Americans, they're having sex together, and the other 28% are just, well, you know. Most Americans, 72%, are having sex, and about 1 in every 4 are using condoms, but apparently aren't doing it correctly. The CDC said they had to say it because we say it because people do it. And then they quote some research that says as many as 3% of people have tried to reuse condoms, and half of us, well, not half of, it says half of us, not me, but half of you, have put a condom on too late or removed it too soon. It's Friday. You got a problem? Huh. Yeah, call somebody that cares. Condoms effectively reduce the risk of contracting sexually transmitted infection and help prevent pregnancy, but only if used correctly. So the CDC is here to remind us all that prophylactics, which can be purchased for 50 cents or picked up free at many health centers, are a one-time use only product. Now, here's my concern about that. If straws are a one-time use product and they're getting stuck in the noses of little baby sea turtles, or they're part of the giant garbage dump in the Pacific Ocean that nobody has yet to identify, and we're being encouraged to quit using plastic straws because they're killing off Mother Earth, don't you think we should start recycling our condoms? Or go to a paper condom? Or recycle them? I mean, we ought to do something here, because they're both made out of petroleum-based products, And maybe somebody can come up with a solar condom. Or, I'll move on. Here's the exact tweet. We say it because people do it. Don't wash or reuse #condoms. Use a fresh one for each #sex act. And then they've got a link to the story. Between 1 and 3.3% of people who try to reuse them, according to one meta-analysis published in 2012. So now they're citing a 6-year-old study. I think that probably we should redo the study because in the age of Trump, clearly this is a problem that's probably increased, and we can directly blame the president for this. That, in all fairness, well, who cares about fairness? If there's a problem with people not properly using condoms or trying to reuse them, I think we should blame Donald John Trump. According to the same study that's now 6 years old, the most common mistakes people make when using a condom are putting it on too late. That's as many as 50% of the respondents, or taking it off too soon, or just taking off too soon. That's 44.7%. But you can also undermine the prophylactic's effectiveness by doing things like unrolling it before putting it on, instead of unrolling it onto the member, or partially unrolling it, or not leaving space at the tip for collection, or failing to use lubrication. Early condoms, and there's a picture here. I have to flash that one because Facebook and YouTube might take us down for me showing a photo of a condom on Facebook or YouTube. Came with instructions on how to wash them. I guess I never knew that. Let's see. Soap is no help. Viruses, bacteria, and semen are all too tiny for washing to be guaranteed way to remove them. To be fair to the 1 to 3% of people who've tried to wash away sexually transmitted infections, risks, and reuse their. This is actually this is a relatively recent development. The first rubber condoms, invented in 1839, were thick, had a seam down the side, and came with instructions for washing them in a box the size and shape of a jewelry gift box. Oh, honey, you got me a nice bracelet. No, it's just a big, thick condom. Rock stars like the Sex Pistols and Elvis Costello even sang about washing their condoms as recently as the 70s. Do they realize the 70s is like 40 years ago? Good grief. I just call as I see it. That's all I do here. Here's another helpful hint. Madison, Wisconsin, so you know it's got to be good. Looking for a more natural digestive system cleanse? Despite what you might hear on this radio station, I've got the right cleanse for you. You may be able to find the ingredients right in your own backyard. Angie, what did you find in the gym today?
Oh, it was a cricket.
Well, you should have grabbed that little booger. A new study finds that adding crickets to your daily diet regimen may be good for your gut and offers several health benefits. Did you eat that cricket in the gym?
No.
Are you sure?
I did turn around and it wasn't there anymore.
So you were thinking about it, weren't you?
No.
You sure it was a cricket or it was a cockroach?
Pretty sure it was a cricket.
Oh, you're pretty sure it was a cricket, meaning you're not 100% sure it wasn't a cockroach.
It was a cricket.
You just want to say
it.
Had
the legs
you
and
just
stuff.
want to convince yourself it was a cricket because you were in the gym potentially with a cockroach. And I'm not talking about one of your friends either. I'm talking about the little critter.
It was a cricket.
You see, it has health benefits. Go back down there and get it. Give you $100 to go down there and find that cricket and eat it right now. $100.
Never.
You're listening to The Michael Brown Show.
This report is brought to you by your local Ford store.
An earlier crash on eastbound I-70 at the 270 interchange has been cleared out of traffic, but it's still slow all the way back to I-25. Mostly just seeing heavy volume slowing around the system through the Tech Center and downtown and headed into Thornton. Off-freeway, the lights are malfunctioning at 6th and Broadway and Lincoln, backing things up there. And there's an accident at 4th and Colorado. Your forecast for this evening, partly cloudy with a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Will cool off to the low 60s overnight. Partly cloudy tomorrow for your Saturday with a high in the low to mid 80s. And on Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy with a high in the upper 70s. It's 87 right now in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
The Ford Summer Sales event is on now at your local Ford stores. Get a great deal on America's best-selling brand of fuel-sipping cars, versatile SUVs, or built Ford tough trucks. But hurry, like some of these deals won't last forever. Get to your local Ford store today. Ford, go further.
Hey, Mark Hope here with Action Computers. We've been serving Colorado since before the internet. Many KHOW listeners are Action customers.
I'm one of those customers. I had an issue with one of my business's computers. Did not have to bring it in. Just called Jeff over at Action. He went inside the computer while I was watching on the monitor. I talked with him on the phone. He cleaned out a bunch of stuff that was slowing the computer down, as well as stuff that was problematic from a security standpoint. You have an issue with a desktop, laptop, personal, or business computer, get with Action.
Hey kids, it's that time of year again. Back to school is upon us, and if you want to get your kids or grandkids outfitted for back to school and technology, come see us at Action. You will save over 50%.
As thousands of fellow KHOW listeners have learned, Action has the lowest prices in Colorado on desktops, monitors, laptops, and printers. If you go elsewhere, you will pay more. Action has 2 Metro locations, North Metro, 80th and Wadsworth, and South Metro on South Colorado, south of U Hills between the Shays Artiste Theaters and Sprouts. Check out Action online at actionpc.com.
Are you having a barbecue or going to one? If you're gluten-free or have gluten-free friends, don't limit yourself to just eating the burger or the dog without the bun. Let gluten-free things put the fun back in the bun without the worry of gluten. Freshly baked breads, buns, and more at Gluten-Free Things Bakery in Arvada and online at glutenfreethings.com.
Another summer you couldn't use your timeshare? If it's no longer working for you and you need out, call Timeshare Exit Team, 844-975-EXIT, 844-975-EXIT, or visit timeshareexitteam.com.
I'm Robert, and I'm a patient of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. I was in a funk because I couldn't perform sexually. I had the desire, but I didn't have the physical ability. I lived with this problem for about 12 years. It was depressing and wasn't good for my relationship. I would tell guys who were in a similar situation to skip the fake ads that promise all kinds of things and deliver little or nothing. Go to a legitimate agency that understands your problem medically. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic were very friendly. They took their time. They understood exactly why I was there. They were very matter-of-fact, very professional. Amongst other things, I felt very confident that what they were doing was safe. If you struggle with ED, like I did, I would suggest that you overcome your initial embarrassment of the problem and don't just live with it. There is an effective treatment for ED. There are people who understand the problem. Those people are at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
This is Jeff, director of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. You don't have to live with ED anymore. Give us a call at 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
My father developed a disease called farmer's lung. At age 53, he was no longer able to work, so we sold the farm. Now my parents had a nest egg, and they needed it to last as long as they did. Mom outlived Dad and spent 25 years in retirement. Today, it's possible to spend 3 decades in retirement. That's long enough to potentially experience 3 corrections or crashes in the stock market. You make money in the market by being aggressive, but you keep it by being defensive. Hi, this is Carlin Tucker. I made my parents money in the market, but more importantly, I helped them keep it for their 25 years of retirement through numerous market conditions. My all-seasons portfolio prepares you for whatever tomorrow brings. May I create one for you? I'm here to help. Call me, Carlin Tucker, at 303-734-1234. RetireWithTucker.com.
This is not an offer to buy or sell. Securities are offered through Tucker Asset Management.
When you have a solar generation system from Bright Street Energy on the roof of your home, or business actually, you reduce or eliminate your utility electric bills. Your property becomes worth more, and you're less susceptible to changes in electricity prices. Now, I pulled the trigger last summer, and I encourage you to sit down with Bright Street for a free solar consultation consultation. Do it soon to catch as much of the summer as possible and to catch the tax breaks before they also fade away. Learn more at brightstreet.com. That's BRITE Street.com.
When it comes to servicing your car, let's go right to the heart of the matter. Al Aramis, he's the owner of Pro Auto Care for 25 years, and they give a 36,000-mile warranty complete with roadside assistance to each and every customer. You'll also get reminders when your service intervals are due. I love them. I use them. You should too. Denver and Littleton. 303 Pro Auto. That's 303 Pro Auto or 303proauto.com.
This message paid for by Fair Maps, Colorado.
Hi, this is John Suthers, former Attorney General of Colorado, now Mayor of Colorado Springs. Around the country, the process of drawing congressional and state legislative maps has been polluted by conflict of interest. The very people benefiting from the maps, senators, representatives, political appointees, are the ones drawing the maps. The result is predictable: manipulated maps and gerrymandered districts that serve one political party, but not the people. Colorado has had its own struggles in map drawing. For the past 30 years, a single judge has often picked our maps, behind closed doors. Amendments Y and Z would change that. Amendments Y and Z would take the power to draw maps away from elected officials and give it to an independent commission. 1/3 Republican, 1/3 Democrat, 1/3 independent. And smart checks and balances will once and for all end the cycle of maps being picked by a single judge. Vote yes on Y and Z.
Ross Kaminsky, mornings 5 to 10.
Ann Coulter was all in for Trump. Then she got a little upset with him. So how does she feel now? Ann Coulter joins us to talk about her new book, Resistance is Futile, Monday morning at 8:05 here on 630 KHOW.
My favorite socialist, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, decided to ban the media from her latest town hall event with her constituents. You think the media is going to condemn her for suppressing a free press? Do you think that they're going to accuse her of being an enemy to the press? Do you think they're going to accuse her of violating the press's freedom of the press, First Amendment rights? Ocasio-Cortez has been conducting a listening tour. You know why she's conducting a listening tour? Because some adult went to her and said, look, sweetheart, you can't put a coherent sentence together. So instead of having these little town halls where you're going to speak, you're going to keep your mouth shut and you're going to listen. She's been conducting a listening tour throughout the 14th District to talk with local residents about immigration, health care, and various other issues. But according to the Queen's Chronicle, make up your own joke. The Queen's Chronicle, Ocasio-Cortez's campaign refused to allow any TV or newspaper reporters into her last event in Corona, Queens. Campaign spokesman Corbin Trent, wouldn't you like to meet Corbin? I bet Corbin's a really nice, like 22-something-year-old. Said the ban was the campaign's response to an incident last week where Ocasio-Cortez met with healthcare activist Adi Barkan, and the two of them were mobbed by journalists despite it being a non-Q&A event. Trent told the Chronicle that the ban should be temporary and the campaign is still interested in maintaining an open relationship with local media. She's finally getting some good advice. Sometimes it's better to be seen and not heard. How about the NFL? The NFL is really, I love this story. ESPN will not air the national anthem on Monday Night Football. You see, if you don't show the national anthem, then you're not going to know what's going on, because nobody in the stadium will have a cell phone with which to take a video of the doofuses kneeling. ESPN has said it will not show the national anthem during Monday Night Football broadcast this year, according to the company president today. Jimmy Pitaro addressed the controversy at ESPN's annual Football Media Day. Pitaro was asked by a reporter if he spoke to the NFL about the rule changes in the national anthem and if he would consider, quote, turning the cameras on an athlete that's kneeling for the anthem. Pitaro said, quote, we generally have not broadcasted the anthem, and I don't think there's going to be any change this year. Our plan going into this year is to not broadcast the anthem. Again, there could be changes. It's somewhat unpredictable what's going to happen in the world, but as of now, our plan is not to broadcast the national anthem. We have communicated that back to the NFL, and they have not asked, but we proactively, just as a courtesy and as good partners, let them know what our plans are. That's collusion. You want some collusion? That's collusion right there. Do you believe for a New York second, the phrase is a New York minute, but here I think it's a New York second, that the NFL and ESPN didn't have conversations before ESPN announced this? You can hear it now. Calling the commissioner. Hey, Roger, this is Jimmy over at ESPN. How you doing, Jimmy? Well, I just wanted to let you know, we're thinking about not broadcasting the national anthem. Oh, seriously? Man, I owe you dinner. That's a great idea, because then we won't catch, a bunch of feces when those doofuses start kneeling when they play the national anthem. Well, that's kind of what I thought. So I kind of wanted to give you a heads up because, it's our annual media day, and I wanted to announce it, but I'm going to pretend like we didn't talk, okay? Great idea, Jimmy. That's why I love you, Jimmy. Oh, really? Dinner? Candlelight dinner, maybe? Yeah. Can we sit together on the same side of the booth? Yeah, can we do that? Mm-hmm. Again, there could be changes. It's somewhat unpredictable what's going to happen in the world. What? Here's what's going to happen. ESPN is not going to broadcast the national anthem. The national anthem will be played. The NFL, because they got some deal with the armed services, with the Pentagon, they'll play the national anthem, and there'll be some greatest generation guys out there, and then these goobers will kneel. And ESPN will think, we've pulled the wool over the public's eye here because we're not going to show that. And then within 2 seconds, 1 second of the first NFL player kneeling during the national anthem, it'll be all over Twitter, all over Facebook, all over Instagram, and then they're going to go straight to Roger Goodell, and they're going to go straight to Jimmy Pitaro, and they're going to ask, hey, thought you guys were doing a rule change. Here's my take. I feel exactly the same way about these dumbass NFL players as I do about the Democrat socialists. Kneel. If you feel like somehow you are compelled to kneel during the playing of the greatest nation on earth's national anthem, by all means kneel. Because I want to know who you are, and I want to know what you stand for. And I know what you stand for when you kneel. End of story. Yeah, collusion. Absolute collusion. Christian Toto's coming up. Hollywood and Toto. Should I ask him about... Nah, never mind.
The Michael Brown Show continues after this.